Right, and for my first opening hand, well, I think I've got to keep the Southsea Deckhand. You definitely need a 1-drop in this deck. You would prefer Nazof's first mate, Finley, or Sky Raider, but 1-drop better than nothing. Okay, 2 Parachute Brigands. This hand might be explosive. So obviously this will have patches pop out of the deck. Giving us 4 bodies, 7 attack, 6 health, 1 mana. Not a bad start. Now if we draw Southsea Captain at any point, this start is going to be insane. So we'll just attack past the turn after armouring up. Okay, excellent. Southsea Captain, just what we needed. That is an extra 4 attack for us right now. 4 in hand. We draw another heroic strike. This game is just long gone. Okay, Dark Skies, let's see how this lands. Right, great, we keep the Southsea Captain, that's excellent. The Warlock sees enough there, I can see why that was one of the most explosive starts I've seen from this deck. Shows the benefit of adding Parachute Brigand to the deck. Okay, so for our next game, I feel like we might have to chuck back the Parachute Brigand. Ideally, we want a 1-drop. Ancharr's so good that we need to keep it, and obviously, Ship's Cannon's kind of the reason to play the deck. So we're never throwing that away. Not exactly what I wanted. Southsea Captain. It's never a card you want to see early, but you always want to see it. Hello. Right, so we play out the Ship's Cannon. Hopefully, we'll get Sky Raider would be ideal here because we may be able to change some sort of cards. Finley, not what I was planning to see. I think we have to play at the Ancharrr and see what we draw into. I think we take out the Mad Scientist here. Obviously, we don't want to see Flame Ward here because it will take out the Ship's Cannon. Luckily, that wasn't it. We'll see what secret they've drew into at some point soon, I'm sure.
My magic will tear you apart.
Well, against Secret Mage, we don't want to lose our Ship's Cannon, but I'd rather the fireballs be going at our minions than at our face. Okay, so here I think Fire Blast is a good one. Demon Claw is a bit interesting. It depends how constrained our mana is, because obviously if you're going to be left with 1 mana, it's really easy to pop that extra attack onto your hero. If you're not, if your mana isn't constrained, the Fire Blast is a bit better because you don't take damage. Another secret from my opponent. So we do a Death's Bite. It can be useful late in the game because we take chunks off their health using that weapon at times. Attack first, see if we trigger a secret. And then into Bloodsail Cultist to add an extra charge to Ancharrr, which also triggers the Skybarge. Okay, opponent plays Cloud Prince targeting our Skybarge, which, well, that's enough for him to scoop it up. So another mage here. Classic hand. Oh great, we've got the Nazar's first mate. You know, you don't always need the Southsea Deckhand, but the fact that we're going to get a weapon, yeah, it's worth keeping. You don't want to draw into your patches, so it's important not to over mulligan. Draw ship's cannon, excellent. That's always the card I want to see. And then upgrade. So I'm going to keep the ship's cannon in hand to coin and then into Nazar's first mates. Hopefully one of the shots from the cannon will go fate, one of them will hit the Archaeologist, and we can then finish it with a rusty hook. Okay, both go face. Probably means we're going to lose our ship's cannon here, which isn't ideal. Let's see what they do. Okay, interesting. So what does that mean? So he probably hasn't got flame ward, otherwise he probably wouldn't have touched the ship's cannon because it's got 3 health and the flame ward would kill everything. Right, so is it duplicate? If it is, probably rather him have 2 Archaeologists, 2 Cabal lackeys, because the decrease in the cost of his secrets might allow him to keep up with the pace of our deck. So we don't want to lose our ship's cannon, so I think we have to take out the Cabal lackey anyway. So our opponent's health is quite high. We might need to be drawing into Deathspite here to take chunks out of their life, and therefore the Bloodsail Cultist buffing that weapon would be better. So I think we just run out Dread Corsair, one of the 2 Archaeologists. This does give our opponent a lot of resources, but they are always going to win in the long game. So no weapon, so I think it's time Bloodsail Cultist anyway to buff what weapon we do have, and we're just going to go face with everyone. There comes a point in the game where you just have to accept you are a face deck. Okay, this is why we didn't kill the Cabal lackey, because this Arcane Flat Mage would have come down on turn 3 and wrecked our board then, but at least at turn 5 it's difficult for the opponent to stay in the game. We can still swing in with our team, puts our opponent on very low health, gives us a good chance of closing out the game. Secret Mage is in a deck that has taunts and the like, and I'll upgrade our weapon now. Having drawn into the Leeroy is great because we've got all the burst, even without a board. We can't afford to play out Leeroy and find out that that secret isn't explosive runes. It would leave them with 2 1/1s on board and result in an extra damage to the face compared to Kor'kron Elite. So I think we have to run out the Kor'kron Elite here. It just dies, we take 3 damage. We swing at the face, and then Leeroy is in hand. They have no explosive runes left because they played one a moment ago. We're in a good position here because, assuming that they have Ice Block, that is the only real thing that keeps Mage in the deck in the game. Now they don't have life gain taunts in this deck. Okay, they're looking for Ice Block, and they end the game there. They've seen enough.
My blade burns with holy fire.
Okay, so we definitely want the Skybarge, which is one of the better cards to have. No weapon from Nazar's first mate, so we might as well get rid of the Southsea Deckhand. Then we draw into Nazar's first mate, which is a great card, especially against Paladins, because your Rusty Hook will allow you to start pinging off those 1/1s that are contesting the board. if it is mech hand buff, you do often need to clear their whole board every game, so having that initiative from the Rusty Hook, even only for one attack, can really make the difference in holding the board in the early game, and it allows you to snowball. Right, so I think we have to play it then as our first mate, because that Rusty Hook is crucial. I don't know if we want to attack here, because it's very useful to keep all the charges to help keep their board down. We'll see what they play. Okay, so our opponent ropes out but then goes in for Crystology. Coins into Skybarge. He removes our patches. We play at the Sky Road to see what we get from it. Okay. Parachute Brigand would be great next turn. Shame we didn't get another one drop, but okay position so far. Going into our opponent's second turn.
Converting stored energy. Converting stored
Okay, so Glowtron into Magnetized Glowtron. Okay, that is a big but. We're not really going to be able to clear this. So I think the best thing we'd do is to play at the Dread Corsair. That will then mean they can't effectively trade into our board. Probably going to magnetise something onto this Glowtron, so they will probably clear the Dread Corsair, but at least we can start to push damage to the face. Maybe the Kor'kron Elite next turn take out whatever minion it is that they've created, but we'll see. I've got a relatively wide board, so playing at a Southsea Captain and the upgrade might not be too bad a play. Run out the Southsea Captain, clear his board with our minions, drop the Southsea Deckhand, start pushing damage to the face, with a view to end this game as early as possible. "13 damage, 13 attack on board, 5 in hand." So our opponent clears the Southsea Captain, which is kind of an essential play that it has to do. Leaves the Mech Warper 1 health, so we can clear that with an upgrade. Clear his Silver-Handed Recruit, push damage to the face, drop the Kor'kron Elite, go further to the face. Now we're in a strong position. Next turn we have Zodiacs, losing up to 16 health. I think we have to clear the Zodiacs with the upgraded Rusty Hook. We get our Parachute Brigand. Still gives us in a strong position because the opponent has no board to magnetise onto, and leaves him 13 health with us having lethal available next turn. But he's seen enough and decides to pick him up right there. And that concludes my first video. 4 games, 4 wins. I'm happy to put that result out there. I don't normally have a 100% win rate, but I'm sure you'll see that in my future videos. Thanks for watching.